My son's
Yeah.
girlfriend, fiance, maybe not, I don't know what she is. But anyway, she turned in a report down at College of the Ozarks, and the instructor dinged her for using AI. Apparently they have software now that actually.
Yeah.
Oh, they've had it
use
for a
AI.
while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now she swears she didn't use it, but
And
anyway.
what it does is
So it's out there.
it picks up certain sentences,
Yeah,
and if
rhythmic,
it's in there,
yeah, rhythmic conversation.
Certain sentences that says, yeah, people didn't write that one.
You have to go back and put some bad grammar in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
I was capable of
No, I
that.
do have an app on my phone, so I was just goofing around over the weekend. It was on TV, so I'm like, oh, I'll put that on my phone and play with it. Figured I gotta jump, I'm gonna drag my feet or jump into it, so I figured I'd jump my feet and jump into it. So I just typed in, write me a paper on wastewater. It wrote a 12-page paper on wastewater, just sitting there, told me, I'm reading along, I'm like, man, pretty good. Now you would have to go through it and, because it's like they took a whole bunch of stuff out of all kinds of articles and white paper and stuff and stuck it onto a report. But, so it will do it. I was like,
That's good.
I'm still old school. I still like to sit there and try to figure out what the hell I'm gonna say.
And then you gotta do the bibliography report portion back.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, if we don't have any guests in the gallery today, this will be short.
Yes. And there's a good chance we won't. Yeah, never know.
Never know who'll pop in.
I almost forgot about it, it turned up on my calendar.
Well, that's the same way with me.
They're always welcome.
I'm supposed to have 2 meetings today. Well, they canceled my second meeting. I always schedule 2 meetings on this day, and they canceled my second meeting, and I and then all of a sudden, last night I'm sitting there, and it popped up on my phone. Oh, crap, I gotta get up and take a shower.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And we are live.
Plus, because, when you used to get the thing dumped.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
ours
yeah.
there, that ours
That's, because that's
reminded-
what Linda said. Well, they didn't deliver a packet. I said, no, they sent
We
it.
have a visitor. We have our first visitor. Good morning. She's gonna see if we fit into the plan.
One of
Well.
these days, she's gonna be up at the podium telling us what some of the plans are.
Oh, yeah.
That's the plan.
Well, shall we get this party started? Like to call to order this meeting of the City of Washington Board of Public Works, Tuesday. What is today?
Day after Christmas.
December 26th. Rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we'll do the roll call. Sorry about that.
Brad Mitchell is out. Brad Mitchell,
Not yet.
Not here.
Mike Raditer,
Here?
Steve Richardson.
Here.
Steve Struberg,
Here.
Mike Coulter,
Here.
Chad Briggs,
All right, that's it.
That's it.
did I miss a name? I
Nope.
apologize if
Nope.
I did.
Did good.
Okay. Approval of the minutes, questions, comments, changes, motion.
So move.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved, thank you. Any priority items, Kevin?
No priority items.
That's always nice,
It is nice.
unless somebody
How
gave
can we
us some
spend money if there's not?
money, yeah.
Yeah, we spent a lot here in the last few months,
Yeah,
so
we
we're kind of
have.
taking a break.
Isn't that the sure? Okay, wastewater.
Really, nothing in wastewater either. Everything's going good. We had inspection for our industrial monitoring through the industrial users from DNR. It's one of our EPA requirements and DNR requirements. With our new hire down at the treatment plant, Todd Blanc, who was you guys, I think I've told you guys, he was the enforcer for DNR for the industrial monitoring. So what better employee to have than the one that pretty much managed all the regulatory requirements anyway. So we went through with flying colors, no non-compliances. I think it's the first year now that we have gone through without any issues at all. So Todd's doing a great job down there. Now, we do have one industry that does have an administrative order. It's due to multiple notices of violation for their discharge, but we're working through that. We're working with them so that they can come back into compliance and that nothing happens, but that's it. But other than that, the stations are doing fine. Sewer lines are doing fine. We're starting on our next run of slip lining. I do have on order some of those eye trackers that I had brought to you guys. I got everything going on that, so we should be seeing them in the next couple weeks. As soon as they get in, we'll deploy them down on the riverfront trail. We've got 12 manholes that follow the riverfront trail. We've never known if there's anything coming into them, so we're going to find out, either if we get it when it's not raining or when it's raining, so.
That's good.
We'll get them deployed there. The company will come in and help us set them up, train the guys, and then it'll be all through the cloud. They'll give us reports back. It's all part of the package, so.
So how much longer till we know, till downtown is back together?
On Second Street?
Yeah,
We haven't got there yet, but that's, so anyway, that's with the wastewater. So now we can go.
Kevin, on wastewater, how long do those industries have to get in compliance? I mean,
We give them timelines, so like this one here has 4 months. But it's not like we found out yesterday and we gave them 4 months. We've been, since Todd's came on board, which was it's been a year now, I think, yeah, a little over a year. He's been working with this industry to get them into compliance, and it's just been, I don't want to say a dragging of feet or just a not understanding quite how serious this can get. So as we've been moving on, it's just gotten to the point where now we had to issue this administrative order, or we ourselves would have gotten into
Right.
trouble by the DNR and the EPA. So we have to protect ourselves.
do we have something in place like they get fined or?
Yes, we do. Yes, our codes, if they don't comply within the 4 months, we have the ability to fine them $500 a day. It's in the code. We don't want to, I don't want to go down that path if we don't have to. I'm sure they don't want to, and they have been, their discharge qualities have improved. It's just a few more things that they have neglected. Basically, it's operational, is what it is. So it's not the end of the world, but
Yeah,
it's something we had to do.
So they're making an attempt to comply?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's not a blatant,
Yeah, they're not blatantly disregarding it and saying, "Ha, we don't have to follow this." So no, it's all good. It's just it is out there. So just want to let you guys know, but not a big thing. So
all right. Well, we'll move on to water, and then we'll circle back around in old business and talk about some of these other projects going on. So
Yeah.
we have a bill for KJ for, which one is this?
pay request
20
4, yes,
$25,772.65,
yes,
which is in regards to the water tank, approved by staff.
yes. They even though we're not paying the tank until April, or well, until April, May, June, whatever of next year. There's still groundwork that has to be done around the tank and everything, and that's what KJU is following up on now. So they've got a lot of work to do out there with that, now that all the equipment, everything's off the site. So that's what they'll be doing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Send it on to the council. And we have a bill for Cochrane.
Yes.
For the water tank.
Yes, this is,
$3,748.
yes, this is the engineering side of the tank for, they still go out when KJU's working and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it's their site visit stuff that they have to do. It's all part of the package, just
Okay.
So move.
the things they have to take care of, so.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries for that as well. So those are the only two bills we have today. We're
That
not
is.
Spending a lot of money, that's good.
That's,
What else is going on with water, Kevin?
well, Second Street, we're still working on Second Street. We have all of the services, so all the residential is tied into the new line. We have 2 fire lines that we have to get reattached. One is for the old auto building, and one is the fire line that's running up to the, up into the church there on Second Street. So we went out and tried to shut down the old line, and we found out that none of the valves, of course, that's why we're doing all this work, is to fix the problems down there. The valves, we would have had to spread way too far out to try and get this done. I mean, like blocks out to get the water shut off. So we decided to order some Insta valves to be able to put in line and put in new valves. So we'll put in an Insta valve, put in a new valve, and open up the Insta valve and bury it. So we're waiting on the materials to get here to do that. It's the only way we can stop the line without shutting off way too many people, so. So anyway, that's what we're waiting on. The material should be here this week, so as soon as it comes in, we'll be probably starting on Jefferson Street, so we'll have Jefferson Street shut down. We'll have to dig a hole, well, 2 holes in Jefferson Street. One of them we already have, but we'll have to dig a new one. Same thing on Cedar Street. We gotta do the same thing over on Cedar Street because the line on Second Street at Cedar heading west, the valves don't work there, so we would have to go out another 3 to 4 to 5 blocks to get that done. So that's kind of what's holding us up on Second Street. So once we get the old line shut off, then we can put the other 2 lines onto the new line because we gotta tear out the old line because it's dead and sit. They did a great job of keeping it lined up. Unfortunately, we got to go through the old line to tie the 2 fire lines in, so that's where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah. And like everybody knows, getting materials can be rather complicated. Anyway, so that's where we're at. We're just on a holding pattern on that, so. Other than that, the tank, as we know, it's on hold for painting. We had the conversation about putting the logo on the tank. Well, apparently we couldn't get any funding, so we're just putting the words on the tank. So we will just say Washington. So I got that
So we
directive last week.
couldn't get it from the,
I guess we,
tourism?
all I know is Darren said, get a hold
Forget
and
it?
tell them just go back to the original plan. I said, okay. So we're at the original plan, so it will have Washington on it. So we don't have to worry about any additional costs, so.
we'll take care of that in the future.
Yeah, down the road. The biggest, if you want to use it as a branding technique, like Sal was wanting to do as the economic developer, and I totally understand it. The one you would want to do it on is Crestview Tank.
Yeah.
Because that is Washington's focal point. I mean, I hear a lot of people say, well, let's just meet the, where's that Orchlands by the water tank? I mean, that's kind of that, they use that as anyway, so. but-
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know where this one is, you're
You're
not
not
gonna
gonna see
see
this
it.
decal. No. That's true.
So anyway, so that's that. The water system is going good. We do have, in a situation at well 7 where we, for some reason, have dropped production. I had Flynn Drilling come out after, when I know Danny Flynn was here. He brought his magnetic flow meter that they can use to analyze flow meters. We dropped production by about roughly right around 200 gallons a minute at that well. And both their strap-on meter and our meter were 50 gallons difference, which is well in with parameter ranges. So we have something going on. So we're gonna have to pull that well at some point in time just to do an investigation to find out what's going on that. And then well 6, we're gonna try pulling that one sometime in the beginning of next year. That one there, we know we have a problem because of, as Danny said, we have a pump that technically should not be running, technically.
Oh, that's, okay.
That's that one that
That's
has
the
the
one
no-
we gotta really look at, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that we know 100% we've got a problem. It's just a matter of time before it goes out. It could go out tomorrow.
Right.
We don't know.
blow.
It should already be, to be honest with you, it should already be not running with the way the readings are on it. But there's a lot of things that could be, you gotta pull that one to find out, so. Anyway, other than that, everything else is doing good.
I have a question on 2 wastewater projects. The East Fifth Street, the large P-trap, I think, was
Oh, yeah.
engineered and ready to get started. What's the status?
It was engineered, it's ready to get started, went out to KJU, and KJU came out with a different design than what was originally brought in, which totally expected, and we all know who owns KJU. And I don't have a problem with it. So I have the plan that they gave me, which, believe it or not, is really a pretty decent plan for what's the situation is. I'm gonna try to get with Cochran this week so they can review it, because they are our engineering firm that's on record for this. So I gotta take it out to them. I've already talked to them about it. They don't have a problem with it if it fits their feeling of structurally stable. So that's where we're at on that. So we already got the road back to it. They got a lot of shot rock in there to stabilize the bank, which needed to be done anyway. So this is a never involving.
Do we anticipate this change is going to, well, hopefully it's going to be improving something, is going to increase the cost?
No, the initial thought is it could possibly drop the cost.
Okay.
So we're just waiting for numbers. So if it does, good for us. And if Cochran's structural engineers feel that it'll withstand what they feel it needs to do, then that's even better, so.
That's good.
Basically, it's taking a steel pipe and putting it across there and building a truss within the steel pipe, instead of having a pipe go through and then building a truss around the pipe, so.
How much engineering work's gonna need to be done on that new development off of Fifth Street, up towards the highway?
As far as water and sewer, or
Yeah.
just as in general?
Well,
In general, they got a lot to do.
They got a
because
lot of stuff
It's a
up
heck of
there.
a slope. But they can do that. As far as water and sewer goes, that's really not gonna be a problem. They'll bring water in off of Fifth Street, run it all through it. Sewer will go down to the bottom of the hill, and then they will have to cross the creek there, so they'll have to do their own creek crossing to get to the sewer line on the north side of the creek. But other than that, that's really not a,
You sure won't need a lift station over there.
you won't need it. They're gonna have to watch their grade to make sure that they don't have too steep a grade and they have separation, but that's their job, and we'll make sure it's the grade it's supposed to be, but it's theirs to come back with us with which we will review in the site plan, and Sarah's all involved in that too, so it's
You had a lateral or some sort of an offshoot down on the west end of town behind a couple of houses that needed to be,
Oh, that's on
Put
Fair
into
Street?
our system.
Yeah, that's on Fair, yeah, we haven't got to that one yet. It's still in the plans, we just haven't.
And that-
Second Street kinda tied us up on a lot of stuff, so.
well, and the Fair Street's not a matter of,
No, it's a matter of just keeping the
Bringing it up to
situation that
date.
has happened twice now to happen again, which then, as I think we talked about this earlier, but as a city, once it happens once and we try to fix the problem and it's not fixed, then it kind of becomes our
right.
problem in a sense. So we know that the line, that 4-inch line that takes in 5 or 6 houses does plug up and it does back up. There's no way of really cleaning it any good way, and we know it discharges sewer into the road, which then gets into receiving stream. So that now falls kind of on us to make sure we could go to every resident and say, hey, you got a problem, but the resident that may have bought that house didn't build that. You can't, so as a city, we need to step up and say, okay, we can run a line up to here, everybody ties into it, boom, you're done. And then that becomes, I'll give a letter to each resident saying, you're now tied into the new line, your responsibility from your house to the main is to here, and we'll be able to guide it that way rather than trying to figure out who's having the problem. Because we have no way of knowing which house is really creating the problem, so. That's it's still on the plans, it's just, we've been, like I said, Second Street is, when we have a very, 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 very highly capable crew, but a very limited crew. So we do what we can, so.
Okay. Anybody else have any discussion? Our next meeting is scheduled for January the 23rd, and I think
I'm on a
somebody,
hiatus the next
you're gonna be
three.
gone.
And Mike might be gone.
No, the one in
February,
February, I
that's
went
He's
live.
gone in
So
February,
yeah, next month won't be a problem,
so we ought to be in good shape.
yeah.
And if you need me, if you just send me a text or a thing, I can get back and at least generally give an opinion.
Yeah, we'll email you, we'll make sure we email you. Of course, you'll see all the packets through email. And then if you do, it'll be official with an email rather than
Yeah.
a text. We got
Okay.
a paper trail that way, so
All righty,
we'll handle that way.
All right, with that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
so move.
Second,
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
aye.